Hello everyone, Davening with the Haftorah of Parshat Shoftim. I first of all thank everyone for bearing with me this week. As you all know, I had a pneumonia, still suffering from it, but thank God today beginning to see a turn for the better and able to speak again properly, and I hope I don't cough too much so not to make this recording too annoying on you. But Davening with the Haftorah of Parshat Shoftim brings to mind a beautiful pasuk from this week's Haftorah. Lachen shimuzot aniyah, listen you poor person, b'shikurat velo miyayin. You're drunk, but not from wine. So how can you be drunk and not from wine and be poor at the same time? If there was ever a time in my life that I felt this way, it was any time, I repeat, any time, I heard a shir or I had a conversation with Rav Binyamin Tabori, Zichrono Livrocha, whose yahrzeit was yesterday. Rav Binyamin Tabori was a teacher of thousands of students, amongst them me, and he was my Rebbe in my first year in yeshiva after high school. And I can promise you I was poor. I knew nothing. I came into any shir that he gave as a poor person. Yes, I knew which Gemara to prepare and which Rishonim to read, but I knew nothing. I couldn't put it together. And within a half an hour, you saw three things. Number one, how this amazing, let's say, forest of trees and trees and trees came together to one organized forest, because he was able, with his photographic memory that was second to none, to organize the information in a clear and a coherent fashion. Number two, he always did so in an exciting fashion. It wasn't like he just read what he was supposed to say. He conveyed the information, but rather it was the manner in which he did it. It was like he was jumping out of his chair when he quoted a Rashba versus a Tosfot and a beautiful sharp statement of Rav Soloveitchik or of the Itvan Doraita or of the Rogachover. So many names that I learned for the first time in his shir. And number three, it was always intertwined with reality shows of both humor and real facts about the people. Because many a times when you learn Torah, you think that the Rambam and the Rashba and the Ran and Rav Soloveitchik and Rav Kook, they all lived together in the same house. Everyone lived in a different generation. They were different in realities. Not to mention the fact that Torah is not about some esoteric world. It's about life. And indeed, if you're not able to bring humor into it, then it's like detached from life. From this perspective, every shir, every conversation was a story of a poor person that walked out of there drunk on the words of Torah, that had A, a clear understanding, B, an exciting one, and C, humor and reality with it. In my opinion, anytime you get up in a shul and you give a speech or a lecture or a shir, if you can't do all three, it's better not to speak. You have to be able to A, be clear so people understand what you're saying, not to have people walk away and say, we have a great rabbi. How do you know he's great? Because I can't understand anything he ever says, so he must be great. The opposite should be true. You should understand every word. Number two, it has to be exciting. People have to stay awake. They can't just get dry information. It has to be exciting. And number three, humor helps, doesn't hurt. If we're able to do this, then in my humble opinion, not only will the words of Torah be conveyed, they'll be conveyed in such a way that every person will say, I may have come into this poor, but I'm walking out drunk. I may have come into this parsha, this halachic quandary, this topic in philosophy, feeling very poor, and yet when they walk out, they feel very drunk. So the next time you get up and you give a Torah shir, or you give a speech, or you even give a Dvar Torah at the table, it would be an amazing legacy to my great Rebbe, Rav Binyamin Tabori, if you're able to do three things. Be clear, be exciting, and intertwine humor. wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, v'tiyeh nishmato tzurura b'tzorah chayim, shel alfei talmidav, that to this moment, any time that you mention his name, always put on a huge smile. A Shabbat Shalom.